Hello, hello. Yes, we have another president now for the last couple of weeks. Well, he's president-elect. There's been no riots in the streets. The boards have been taken off the windows in my neighborhood, and you are still up front with Frank Rothstein on skyscrescentradio.com. Yes, SKYES. Why do I have to say it that way? Because she spelled it weird. So sitting with me as always, on the other end of this, well, for me, it's a Zoom chat. You can't see us, unfortunately, but when we do Zoom live, I'll shave. Sitting with me, as always, is Jade Zabrick. Hello, Jade. And we're sitting here doing our thing every week, watching the current events going on, unfolding in the world, which are not so current, because it seems like the same story every day, at least to me, but okay. So let's start off with a couple of things outside of that kind of politics. A couple of rest in pieces go around. The first one is to Pat Quinn. He is he was the co-founder of the viral. It was called the viral because it was all over the internet. The ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. That was to bring awareness to the condition of ALS, which is amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Anyone who knows what ALS is knows, it's what it is. But the Ice Bucket Challenge went around for a year, maybe two. Everyone on social media nominating one friend or another to sit there and throw freezing cold water on themselves, and this was to keep people aware of this condition, ALS, and it was millions of people did it. And Pat Quinn has died. He died Sunday at the age of 37. So for Pat Quinn, we say rest in peace. Who else died? Former mayor of New York, David Dinkins. David Dinkins took over after Mayor Ed Koch got out of office. He was the mayor from 1990 to 1993. And he died at the age of 93. That's a good long run. One thing about David Dinkins, he was an impeccable dresser. His suits, I want to know where this guy shopped. He had the best looking suits you could imagine. He didn't just dress like a politician. He dressed. And one of the things I remember about him, the first big thing I remember about him doing was he was a tremendous tennis fan, loved tennis. And the U.S. Open is held in Queens, New York. And because the jets from LaGuardia Airport were always flying over the stadium and distracting everybody and stopping the action because the players would stop, he got LaGuardia Airport to reroute the planes while tennis was in session for that tournament. I couldn't believe he did it, but he did it. So David Dinkins, rest in peace. Now, for all of you Trivial Pursuit, all of you trivia crazed people, the very first mayor of New York, this goes back to as a colonial mayor, colonial times, was Thomas Willett. Believe it or not. They were 1-year terms at the time. He was the first and third mayor. He was 1665 to 1666 at the time. That's for people who want to win some drinks in bars or maybe make a bet here and there and not let people near Google. So that's that story. Well, now back to what's going on in the world. Well, again, all the predictions were wrong. All of his predictions, there was no civil war, there's no depression on the horizon. Well, maybe on January 21st, I don't know yet. But as of today, we're still doing okay. The Dow has closed above 30,000 for the first time in history. Maybe it's because there are vaccines on the way. Maybe it's maybe in part because of election results. Maybe it's because it was a sunny day today. I really have no idea. But the Dow did not go to zero. It went higher. So, of course, I'm looking at the NBC News headline. And, of course, I think Donald Trump's trying to take credit for part of it. But okay, let him do what he wants. Anyway, that's what's going on. We're all still breathing. We're all still eating. So on and so on and so on. How is everybody's week this week? By the way, let's say it off the bat. if you would like, email me upfrontfrank@gmail.com. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you would like to be thinking. Tell me if I can help you to think of something creative. That's okay. You know, I'm easy. If you'd like to, if you'd like to try this, as you can tell, the high tech way that I'm doing it, I have my leg up on a computer caddy, a little table with wheels, and I'm using my now defunct laptop because what works is the USB port. So I use them like little plugs for my attachments to keep things charged. And on top of that is my leg. I put my foot up on top of my laptop, and that may have helped towards its demise. But my big leg is on top of this thing. So that's what I'm doing. And if you'd like to do this too, write to skiescrescentradio@gmail.com. Someone will get back to you and tell you exactly how to host a show like I am. One leg up, sitting next, and the three of my favorite drinks, and that's how I do it. That is just how I do it. Look at this time. Oh, wow. Time is sort of, is it going yet? Well, the show's taking shape. What else is going on in the world today? Oh, I always joked around that one day when our laptops, when our computers can pour us a drink, like shoot out a little shot of vodka, every local bar would close. But this is different. This is Amazon. This is the internet eating people again. Because Amazon now offers online prescription fulfillment, free delivery for Prime members. You got it? If you pay to watch movies on Amazon, you can get all your drugs delivered for free. You'll pay for the pill, but you can get it delivered with no shipping service, no shipping charge. You know what that does? That eats into every local pharmacy. That means even CVS, who pretty much runs the pharmaceutical world, is now going to have troubles because now they have to compete with this. This story is actually from last week, from the 17th, and it says Amazon is entering the pharmacy business with a new offering calling Amazon Pharmacy, allowing customers in the United States to order prescription medications for home delivery, including free delivery for Amazon Prime members. And it says Amazon has been quietly building out its pharmacy offering for several years after ramping up internal discussions in 2017 and acquiring PillPack in 2018. Well, you could see where this is going because, what did I say? They want to tap into a $300 billion market. Oh my, oh my, oh my. There you go. Watch out. The internet's striking again. And it's 5:10. And why am I telling you the time? Because I'm doing it more for myself. Because it keeps me focused. I'm going to play a song. As you can hear all these ridiculous stories I'm telling you about, we have this is just what's going on. Novelty. The big shipping companies going to be shipping you pills. You don't know who's going to be handling your packages, what's going to be stolen, so on and so on, but they're going to be doing it. Anyway, so to get into the mood of what's going on in the world right now, I'm playing a song that I haven't played in a while, but I've always liked it. It's from their 1977 album, Chirpin'. This is The Persuasions with Papa Umamau.
Papa mama, 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 papa and I can't understand papa mama. Is he serious or is he playing? Hey there, Papa, now what's her name? Why don't you stop telling me the same old thing? The words you say I can't figure out, but they sound make me jump and shout. Papa, Hear this sound everywhere I go. On the record, TV, and the radio. And now it's spreading all over the land. I still can't seem to understand, Papa.
That's the Persuasions, one of my favorite a cappella groups ever, but they say they are not an a cappella group. To me, if there's no musical instruments involved, you are an a cappella group. But that's another debate. Finally, in time for the holidays, a few right decisions have been made. And since this president seems to be running out of steam, judge blocks Trump plan to cut food stamps for 700,000 adults. That story came out. It's actually from last month, but I hadn't noticed it. I didn't see it, unfortunately. And just to let everybody know, he tried, he failed, the courts came through, and that's just the way it's going to be. Which, even if it went through, it would probably be canceled with the next president coming in. Just wanted to make mention of it. What else is going on in the world? There's I don't know, I guess on YouTube, there's a mom, a doctor mom, teaching her kid the way things work, and she's using a lot of Play-Doh. Remember that kid's dough, the not silly putty, the clay for kids. Buy them in different colors and little cans. This is a mom who's being, I guess, we'll say criticized. They're saying dragged. I'll say criticized for using Play-Doh to demonstrate a C-section surgery to her son, who's apparently 4 years old. And that is exactly what I'm looking at. This is a doctor divided the internet after celebrating her son's birthday by demonstrating how to deliver a baby using Play-Doh. Cesarean Play-Doh surgery, pregnant woman for my kid's 4th birthday. Well, now, it's as the web term, viral video, which has 3.8 million views on Twitter. The graphic how to clip was uploaded by Dr. Jessica So, known on the internet as the breakfast year. What? Okay, no, excuse me, the breakfast year. I'm sitting here reading this so badly. Who creates Play-Doh based YouTube tutorials for her surgery loving son, excuse me. Well, just to let you know, in this video, the Play-Doh mom gave birth to a healthy, bouncing baby Spider-Man doll. And that's what they used. I guess it was small enough to simulate baby, and the kid helped deliver it. And she has a couple of them. She has a few of them, actually. What's the other one? This was more for, what was this one? She has a few of them. Well, okay. It has subscribers. You know what you do with 3.8 million views and followers? You make money. That's what you do. That's how you make a lot of money doing that. Okay. That's what she's doing. It's their thing. Good. I don't know if a 4-year-old can understand all that, because he's really just basically playing with clay. But hey, if it works, it works. Go, Mom. What else is going on in the world? This actually came out on the 21st. It says, bodies of rich man and slave discovered within Pompeii ruins. Pompeii, where the volcanoes erupted in the land. Archaeologists have discovered the exceptionally well-preserved remains of 2 men scalded to death, as my computer jumps, by the volcanic eruption that destroyed the ancient Roman city of Pompeii in 79 AD. And that's according to the Italian Culture Ministry. One was probably a man of high status between ages 30 and 40, who still, as I still bore traces of wooden cloak under his neck. The second looked to be, according to them, between 18 and 23, dressed in a tunic, and had a number of crushed vertebrae indicating that he had been a slave who did heavy labor. Okay. And they were found, actually, considering they look more like rock, but they are clearly, you can clearly see these are humans. This is not, you don't know what it is. This is from 79 AD to now. And wow, and in the positions they were laying in, this is very interesting. I would Google that. If I wasn't telling you about it, I would Google that and look at it. This is great pictures. They died, however, it looks like it took them, I don't know about by surprise or they just didn't escape, but it looks like they were caught. They were just caught together. And that was done during this. They were discovered during excavations. Wow. That to me is interesting. That's more interesting than a lot of other crap I read about. Well, yeah. What else is going on here? I should have punched up like 30 or 40 stories because I'm going through them fast. But a lot of these stories don't take a lot to get through. But you know what does take a lot to get through? Some of the dumber stories on the internet. Here's one that came out last week. I don't remember if I mentioned it, so I'll mention it now. Every now and then you're going to see a medical story on the web. No matter where you find it, you're going to find it. Soon it will be contradicted because they need something new to print. This time it is mouthwash can kill COVID-19 in 30 seconds, a study reveals. That's what it says. Excuse me, I had a cough, as you can tell. It says, okay, that's from the UK study, United Kingdom study. The preliminary findings, the result of the research conducted at Cardiff University, indicate that over-the-counter mouthwashes containing at least 0.07%, am I supposed to cepredidium, not bad, chloride, it's called CPC, showed promising signs of being able to destroy the virus when exposed in a lab setting. Listerine. That's what it is. It's Listerine. This is what your dentist gives you every time there's a wisdom tooth pulled, a cavity filled, something to keep your mouth clean. It says it. 30 seconds. That's what it does. It sterilizes the mouth. It sterilizes the mouth until you put something into your mouth, like a glass of water, because the glass, and the water. But really, that's what they're telling you. So I'm not sure if I want to take a Q-tip full of Listerine and rub the inside of my nose or not, but you could. Certainly there's some pharmaceutical products out there that you can do that with, but okay, maybe I'll do that later on. I'll stick a Q-tip in my Listerine bottle, maybe I'll pour into a little bit of a shot glass, a half a shot, and I'll swab my nose with Listerine and see if I'm healthy tomorrow morning, providing I don't burn my nose out as I'm breathing this crap. But either way, that's what you can do. If you want to get Listerine in a nice minty scent to make it easier on you, feel free. Just check the ingredients. Make sure you have your 0.07% of CPC, because I don't want to pronounce that again. And you're in business. And then with what's left in the bottle, your throat will be clean too. Oh, man. Jay, did you ever use Listerine? She's nodding. She doesn't want to admit it in front of you and say, yeah, but she's nodding. Yes, she has these Listerine. And actually, I like Listerine because when you go drinking, it already tastes like nasty alcohol. So you can have whiskey and scotch and your tongue's already broken in. Doing that with Scope, I don't know. It's a contradicting taste. I don't know about that. But okay, there you go. And with that, I think we're going to play another song. Why? Why the hell not? Are you ready over there? She says, I got a thumbs up. Oh, look at that. Well, anyway, I'm going back to Melissa Etheridge because I like Melissa Etheridge. Somehow when she sings, I believe her. I mean, 3 people can sing the same song over and over. 100 people can sing the same song. Some people you can believe, some people you don't. I believe Melissa Etheridge. And I'm going back to her in 1999 as a bonus track on her album Breakdown. This is They Don't Know Me.
Jamie, I'm alone down on the kitchen floor. Come on, meet me on the bridge just this side of 4th. Hey, don't stop and think about what your roommates say, 'cause they never really like me that much anyway. Oh, they whisper and warn you and tell you that something's not right. But Jamie, just tell me you won't listen tonight, 'cause I would buy the writing if the walls were cheap. I'd steal a piece of heaven if the gods would sleep. I might be your salvation, I might just set you free. Everyone keeps talking like there's something you don't see. Yeah. But they don't know me. Jamie, come and meet me down in this little bar. They wanna hear me play my songs and beat up my guitar. Hey, don't stop and listen to what they say behind your back. Well, they're starving and just making up for everything they lack. They whisper and warn you and tell you that you're nothing new. Okay, baby, I've had me a stranger too, but I would buy the writing if the walls were cheap. I'd steal a piece of heaven if gods would sleep. I might be your salvation, I might just set you free. Everyone keeps talking like there's something you don't see. Yeah. But they don't know me. I know you haven't really heard from me in 10,000 years. And everyone keeps saying how I build you up just to disappear. But they're not here. Jamie, I'm alone down on the kitchen floor. Come on, meet me on the bread like we done before. Hey, don't stop and listen to what everybody say. They never really like me that much anyway. I would buy the writing if the walls were cheap, and I'd try to steal your heaven if the gods would sleep. I might be your salvation, I might just set you free. But everyone keeps talking like there's something you don't see. Yeah, everyone keeps talking and they're talking about me, but they don't know me. But they don't know me. Oh no, they don't know me. They don't know me.
That was Melissa Etheridge, who, if you're a fan of hers, and you should be, go to her YouTube channel because she's on there all the time putting on big shows, from her house. And she has her home studio, like so many musicians do. And you'll see how she's constructing a song alone with all her keypads, the keyboards, and the computer. And it takes her a little while to do it sometimes. Sometimes it falls in right away. But she's always got a good song, and she does take requests. Speaking of taking requests, I was very happy. I go to YouTube on Sunday nights, and one of the women I always play, or at least I keep track of through one of my favorite acts, Postmodern Jukebox, Ariana Savalas, who is, by the way, the youngest daughter of the late Telly Savalas. And she is an excellent singer and a brilliant whistler, if you didn't know. I can't whistle a note. I couldn't hail a cab. I couldn't hail a cab to save my life. She could whistle arias. But she is on there every Sunday night, I believe from 9 to 11. And over the last 2 weeks, and she's looking for a final song to close with, I happened to enter a couple, and she picked mine. So I'm very happy. So, I feel good about it. I'll have to make a donation this time. This is good. I got two requests in. Last week, she was looking for closing. 2 weeks ago, she was looking for closings. I just happened to pick The Wizard of Oz, so she did. I was looking for If I Only Had a Brain, but she gave me Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And this week, she was looking for a closer. I said The Beatles' Nowhere Man, and that's what she did. It was perfect. So I'm a happy guy. Go on to YouTube, Ariana Savalas, and you'll enjoy 2 hours every Sunday night. What else is going on in the world today before I stop playing music like crazy because I can't stand what I'm reading? Here it is. If you want to get robbed at Christmas, as most people know, most Black Fridays, like running into the stores like crazy people, the way we see it on the news. This way, the best part of COVID-19 is you won't get trampled to death. But it seems that PS5, PlayStation 5 is sold out. So for all your geeky kids who have to play everything's a video game, PlayStation 5 seems to be completely sold out unless some miracle inventory crops up, like something in someone's basement. Otherwise, check eBay and then check your bank and see if you have a credit line to pay for what they're going to charge on eBay. Because someone's got 3 or 4 of them, and they're going to go and start selling it. If someone has a PlayStation 5 they really don't care about, and whatever it is it really costs, it's going to go for 2 or 3 times more, because that's what people do. So anyway, I'm not really I'm not a video game guy. I was a pinball kid. Pinball machines were great for me. We used to go to the arcades and play some video games. Yeah, but I didn't have the need to sit home with a virtual thing on my head to look at things that are not really there and play with a little control, little handheld control thing and do that. I don't know. I played knock hockey as a kid. It means you had a stick in your hand and so did your opponent, and you smacked the crap out of each other's hands trying to play hockey. That's what I did. But anyway, that's what's going on in the world of PlayStation. Check your local auctions if you need it that badly. I noticed that, today's news, City Winery in New York. I'm not sure, it's New York City is the one they're talking about, is now requiring diners to take an in-house COVID-19 test before dining indoors. Okay. And then they want to charge $50 a test. That's what they want. They want to charge $50 a test. And this looks like a very nice room. They just recently reopened a little bit uptown from their original location, which was located a little bit downtown. And this is a very nice. Looks like a wedding hall. Huge. Anyway, so that's what they did. And yeah, if you're going to City Winery, whether you're going alone or you're going with a group, be prepared to spend $50 a head. And that's wherever they'll say it's to defer cost. I don't know what a test really costs people in reality, but there you go. Then you wait outside for 10 to 15 minutes with a glass of bubbly in hand. Yeah, they'll give you a drink while you're waiting outside, but that's what they're doing. They are testing people at $50 a head. If they must. That's on top of your ticket, your meal costs, and everything else. Factored into your winery budget. Then for the more disgusting side of people, because, well, they can afford it, they're going to do it. Whether they can afford to or not. It says rich New Yorkers are hiring line waiters to sit on COVID-19 testing queues. So people who want to go for a test, that's what this means. People who want to go for a test and they have to wait online are hiring people to stand online with potential sick other people for them until they are next or next to next, second in line, and then they come back. Now, I saw this happen when the first iPhone came out. I knew guys who stood online for days and then got paid whatever they got paid for it. Wow. Let me see if we can get a read here on what it says. Wealthy New Yorkers are shelling out big bucks to professional line waiters so they won't have to sit in hours-long COVID-19 testing queues ahead of Thanksgiving. Cash-strapped locals who offer their line-sitting services on freelance marketplace TaskRabbit told the Post they were getting up to $80 an hour for the service. Okay. Well, if you go into CityMD, which does not have a big line at all, at least a lot of them don't. But let's say you have a long line. Let's say you have to wait 2 hours on a line. Let's say you're waiting 3 hours online. Okay, you're going to make $240. And you run even if you're wearing a mask, you run a risk of catching this thing. If you're lucky, you will not be all that sick. You'll be quarantined for 2 weeks, all for $240. So there goes your, if you want beer money, you got it. Let's go the other way. Let's say you get really sick. Let's say you're really screwed. And now you're sitting there and you can't go to a hospital. You're better off at home. And you're in full COVID effect for $240. I think it's a low thing that people do that to hire people to stand on that kind of a line. Yes, people who have been doing line waiting, that's an old business. It used to be at the Department of Motor Vehicles in New York. The lines were insane. They were slow moving. There were multiple lines, and that's what people did for either a living or part of what they did, part of their income. They brought a magazine, they brought a puzzle, and they stood online and did the motor vehicle stuff for other people. That's one thing. This is pretty bad. This is pretty bad. Let's see. I'm trying to read what this says here. I've already done this 5 times already. It said one out-of-work writer as she waited on a CityMD line in Soho for someone else. One day I got hired to do 2 lines, so that's how busy it is. Every day I'm getting inquiries. To me, it's running a risk. The odds are you'll be okay outside. Everyone's distanced, supposedly. Okay. But for the people who are too afraid to, I'm not a fan of that one. But if people want to do it, and they want to get paid for it. So in this case, I don't know how many hours this line took, but she had 2 clients for that day. There's your day's pay. Okay. There you go. It is 5:36. Why is that important? Because soon it will be 5:37. What else is going on? Oh, here's COVID again. Spread on a plane despite passengers' negative test. And this comes from a flight to New Zealand, likely from an infected passenger who tested negative prior to departure. So she went to the gate, went to get on the plane, took the temperature, whatever else, got on the plane. That means asymptomatic or whatever other way it was. There was no. Again, you don't even look like you have a cold. You have no fever. I can tell you, I had no fever. I was breathing better then than I am right now when I'm healthy. That's how it happens. People need to be careful. You are overconfident. If you are thinking that you are bulletproof, because I never had a sick day in my life, think again. You are not invincible. It happens. It happens everywhere. And that's leading me to one of my other stories. I don't know if you heard about the 300 people wedding that we had here. Let me see. Let me get my story. I have it on my Facebook page, and I think I lost it somewhere. So I'll have to do it again. Oh, man. What's happening to my Facebook? What's happening to my Facebook? I bought a new computer. I'll tell you about that in a second and why it's screwing with me. It was a wedding. Here it is. New York synagogue fined $15,000 for hosting massive maskless wedding. It says that Mazel Tov instead of Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov will cost a lot. City Hall will levy a $15,000 fine against the Brooklyn synagogue that broke social distancing regulations by hosting thousands, when it says 300, at a clandestine wedding for the grandson of a top religious official in the Hasidic community. It says Mayor de Blasio announced the fine and the summons the day after the Post exposed how thousands packed into a Yetivlev temple in South Williamsburg on November 8th. Dancing, singing, having a good wedding, a lot of partying. I'm sure the food was good. I'm sure they had a good time. And a lot of chair raising. Go to Jewish affairs. We do a lot of chair raising. And everybody goes home and goes out and about later on. Yeah, so now they're looking into this temple. And it's November 9th? Well, we'll see. It was November 8th, excuse me. We will now see what goes on, how many people catch it, test positive, so on and so on and so on. It says packed the 7,000 person capacity Satmar Shul in South Williamsburg. 7,000. What a party. Good luck to them. More people who don't believe it. But then again, at the beginning of all the lockdowns and everything else, and the Hasidic community was never really on listening to any of this distancing stuff. One of the leading rabbis in the community died from COVID. Now they have a funeral. And what do you have? 2,500 people in the street marching around, dancing the coffin around, and they all knew what he died from. Can't reason with that. It's just the way it is. You cannot reason with that. Let's get another song going over here because I'm having enough of all this. So I'm back. I like using YouTube. I find all the people I like to follow. And one of my favorites is Robin Adele Anderson, also from Postmodern Jukebox, where I discovered her, where I found her. And playing a song that I've also played before when Bette Midler sang it. But today Robin sings it, and this is from 1954, originally done by Rosemary Clooney. But now it's Robin Adele Anderson and Mambo Italiano.
Because she missed the scenery, the native dances and the charming songs. But wait a minute, something's wrong. Hey mambo, mambo Italiano. Hey mambo, mambo Italiano. Go, go, go. You mixed up Siciliano. All you Calabrese do the mambo like a crazy with the hey mambo. Don't wanna tarantella. Hey mambo, no more mozzarella. Hey mambo, mambo Italiano. Try an enchilada with a fish or bacala and a hey goomba. I love it when you dance the rumba. But take some advice by Shine and we'll learn how to mambo. If you're gonna be a square, you ain't gonna go nowhere. Hey mambo, mambo Italiano. Hey mambo, mambo Italiano. Go, go Joe, shake it like a Giovanni. E lo che se dice, you get happy in the pizza when you mambo Italiano. shake it 'cause I love it when you take a me. Mama say stop or I'm gonna tell her papa. Hey, child, you don't have to go to school. Just make it with a big bambino, just like a vino. Get you good at looking, but you don't know what it's cooking till you hey mambo, mambo Italiano. Hey mambo, mambo Italiano. Oh oh oh, you mix it up Siciliano. It's so delicious, everybody come capisce how to mambo.
There you go. That was Robin Adele Anderson. I like that song. I really do. Always did. So that's what's going on. It's Thanksgiving week. I don't know what everyone's plans are, but please be careful. You know, what can I say? It's. I really do not like the phrase "it is what it is." It's a sign of resignation, but it is what it is. You know, people can get you sick anywhere, and from there we'll be into Christmas season. It's bad enough I've been watching Hallmark Channel movies since I don't know October. I miss my Frasier reruns, but I don't watch these things. I can't watch this. I just can't. It's not possible. I was looking at a picture of the tree that goes into Rockefeller Center this year. Looks a bit weak. Looks like it needs a couple of branches, a few more leaves, something. It needs something. But maybe they'll just decorate it nice. Yeah, that's just how I figure it. Someone tell me something for a change, because it's odd, because not even odd. It's almost sad, because I keep reading the same type of stories every week. One thing I do miss is being able to go out and find all the stories that were not readily known, whether it was in tech advancement, medical advancements. When I say advancements, I don't mean a new cold pill or a new game to play on your phone. I mean real advancements, real technology, things that can do something for us. Odd, stupid stories. Even during election time, I used to find all the local stories for local politicians trying to put their agendas through, and some were not funny. Some I could laugh at, but they were different. It seems everything is the same. Every story is the same. That's how I see it. It feels the same. Maybe a few details, it's just they're all pretty much the same. So I have to go do a little hunting for next week. Maybe with Black Friday, I'll get into like News Tuesday and find something that's going on. Maybe I'll send Jade out on an assignment and do some press work in her neighborhood, and she can find out what's going on locally, and we can report that. I don't care if it's two stray dogs fighting in the street or three homeless guys sharing a bottle. I want new news. I want to know what's going on. I want to hear somebody opened up something, and I just want to hear something a little different. I'll be working on that one. Look at that. I'm looking at some friends' stories on Facebook. Someone's got some good news, but I won't say that out here. I'll talk about that when the time comes. Let's just play a couple of songs, and then we're going to go, and I'm going to start doing my stuff. Ready? Okay. So anyway, I'm going back to a couple of oldies this year. I always like that this year. Today, I should say this week. And I'm going back to 1953 with Wynonie Harris. This is Quiet Whiskey.
Quiet there by yourself. Things were fine till they took you down and opened you up and passed you around. John was the first one to pull you down. He took one drink and he started to clown. Passed you to Hazel, Jane, and Jack. Penelope got you and passed you right back. The doorbell rang and what did you see? In walked Henry, Fred, and Marie. They hit you high, they hit you low. They hit you fast and they hit you slow. Whiskey on the shelf. You were so quiet there by yourself. Things were fine till they took you down. Opened you up and passed you around. with another. They reached on the shelf and grabbed your brother. It's a shame the way they did you in. Then reached up and got your brother Jen. Grandfather Wine began to tremble with fright, wondering if the party was gonna last all night. Grandfather Wine knew without a doubt he was next in line if the juice ran out. Whiskey on the shelf, you were so quiet there by yourself. Things were fine till they took you down, opened you up and passed you around. Look at everybody, they've got real tight. Now they want to start a fight. John never did nothing wrong in his life. Now he's in the corner with the policeman's wife. Frank's so drunk he can hardly see, trying to make love to Penelope. She took a bottle and hit him in the jaw. That's when the neighbors called the law. Whiskey on the shelf, you were so quiet there by yourself. Things were fine till they took you down, opened you up and passed you around.
That was Winona Harris. I like that song. It has a little good something to it, a little good pace to it. What's going on over here? Oh, here it is. This came out from CNBC's website, and it says, I'm finally getting like relatively new news. Look at this. Almost no Trump voters consider Biden the legitimate 2020 election winner. Well, keep in mind, and I said this last week, in all fairness, that when people said Donald Trump is not my president, even though he won, I tried to explain to people, I don't think you know how this works. So now that Joe Biden is president, all the people who don't believe he's really going to be the president, I don't think you know how this works. You win an election, you get your prep time, you take an oath on a platform in front of the Capitol building or wherever the hell you are, Capitol building, and you are now the president. And then you get that guy with the little football, that nice looking leather bag that I want, full of the nuclear capabilities. They can keep that. I just want the leather bag, and that's how it works. So yes, on January 20th, Joe Biden will be our president, whether you like it or not. The same way it worked the last time around. Oh, it's 10 minutes till showtime. Look at me go. Let's just play a couple of more songs. And then I'm going to go out and get hammered, I guess, because I'm using my Listerine and my tongue's in good shape now. Where's my Jack Daniels? In the meantime, let's start playing a couple of songs, okay? This one I took from 1971, and this is the title track to their album, All Day Music. The band is War. Interesting enough that we just played that song because speaking of music, I'm just looking at a story that came out yesterday about someone who I've met a few times. Her name is Jill Fior. And the headline, or the headline from the Post, from the New York Post for this one, being a local story, is how this New York City guitarist turned her fire escape into a wild music venue. And pretty much what had happened here is that she caught COVID in late March. Everything was shut down. And she had it. I guess she had it a little bit bad. She doesn't go into too much detail. But around day 11, she decided it's not stopping her and she's going to make music her priority. And they put lights up on her fire escape on the second floor, and where she used to play at places like Bowery Electric in Berlin, but now they're shuttered. So she scheduled gigs in an even more local spot, the fire escape of her second floor apartment on Essex Street. And this is now the Fior Escape. Now I forget fire escape, it's the Fior Escape. So last Saturday, she performed a concert for about 75 people who gathered between Grand and Hester Streets and sang along with her cover of Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. And she recommends grab some drinks to go, put your mask on, keep a little distance, and enjoy the music. And it's actually a pretty good looking picture. The fire escape covers 2 windows, so it looks like her apartment and the one next door, unless she has the whole floor. I really don't know. But they lit up the fire escape, her and a bassist, and they're in business, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, it's getting cold, so people want to just have to dress a little warmer. And Jill, who is how old now? What'd you say? What is she? What does it say? Let's try. Here it is. She is 47. She's giving it a shot. She's keeping herself going. I am not sure if she's making money on this or not, but she's out there doing her thing, singing her songs. It says when it came to roadies, Fiora gets by with a little help from her friends. Her microphone stand came from a local Lower East Side haunt, Old Man Hustle Comedy Club, and nearby cafes lent her benches for passers-by to watch them. So people are helping out, and they put this together. And really, it's pretty cool how things come together. And I just wanted to mention that story. I sort of like that. I met Jill a couple of times. Very nice woman. And I wish her well doing it. And I think pretty much we're just about done. Wow. Again, Thanksgiving's coming. I know you're going to travel. I'd rather see you and your small group travel by car than getting on a bus, plane, or a train. But if you need to, please be careful. I know people don't like to do that, but if you can, stay home. Keep the groups as small as possible, if possible. Zoom. I was reading an article at Zoom. While it became a successful company, what's going on now was not part of the plan. Which, of course, it wasn't. How could that possibly be? But use social media, use technology to your advantage. I'm not a big tech guy. We all know that. But if you can use it to your advantage, so much the better. Stay healthier that way. All right? In the meantime, the show has gone by. I wish you all a good Thanksgiving. upfrontfrank@gmail.com. Send me some big meal stories. Tell me how the big fight over the wishbone came about and who won it. All right? Tell me about where you went, what you did, and we're getting into the Christmas season. So I got to start finding songs to play that are not the usual Christmas songs. Because I think I can't stand them. I really can't. Oh, by the way, what's his name? Wait, 1 second. Before I go, I want to mention one thing. Where did I put it? 1 second. I'm sorry. 1 second. Bear with me. I had switched off my Facebook page, and I wanted to. Oh yeah, Saturday Night Live. Pete Davidson is going to lead an all-star version of "It's a Wonderful Life." He is going to take on Jimmy Stewart's role of George Bailey, and people are wondering if. I don't want to say it's a curiosity as if he can pull it off. Well, it's a Saturday Night Live thing, so I'm sure he will. But no, they're not remaking the movie. George Bailey. I think everybody should have a George Bailey experience. If you're not familiar with the movie, It's a Wonderful Life. It's about pretty much a guy who's a small town, loved man, respected in the loan industry, in what everything he did, and everything went wrong all of a sudden. The banker who really wanted his business screwed him. Now he's almost suicidal, and he just wants another chance. He wants to know if he made a difference. It's just what he really wants to know. Or actually, he wishes he wasn't there. Is what it is. So an angel comes down, Clarence, who grants his wish. He doesn't know it's being granted. He just goes about. He's not jumping off a bridge. He's not killing himself, and no one knows who he is. And he gets to see, after a while of being convinced this is really happening, how life turned for everyone around him because he wasn't there, and that he really did make a difference. I think everyone should have a George Bailey experience. Somehow, I always want to know if I really made it. I would imagine everyone would think of that at some point. Did I make a difference? So I'm sure I came in handy a couple of times. I don't know if I'm throwing myself off a bridge to find out, but because I don't think there will be an angel jumping in instead of me. But it's an interesting idea. I really do like the thought of it. And that is the story. Okay, everyone have a good holiday, a good weekend, and we'll get ready for Christmas season when I leave you with Van Morrison, and I will see you on the bright side of the road. Have a good holiday, everybody. Good night.